Welcome back to Meistergram. My name is Hector, and in this video we're going to be showing you how to assemble the stand for your GEM 1502 TC. Once you've removed the cover from the machine, you'll notice that the accessories and supplies are packed along inside the machine. Next, we'll take the hardware for the stand to begin the assembly. Once you've taken out the parts to assemble the stand, you'll notice you have 2 columns, 2 cross plates, a lower shelf, an upper shelf, and your toolkit with all the hardware to put your stand together. Now that we have all our hardware unpacked and ready to assemble the stand, again, you'll notice you have 2 main columns, 2 side panels, lower shelf and an upper shelf, along with the bolts and washers that go along with the stand. And lastly, the rubber grommets that go between the machine and the stand. We're going to set these aside for the last step, which is to put the machine on the stand once we're done assembling the stand. The first step that we'll take to assemble the stand is taking the 2 main columns and setting them up upside down. You'll notice that my casters and my leveling pegs are facing up. I'll follow that by taking one of my face plates and positioning it between the 2 main columns. Make sure that the Meistergram logo is flipped upside down. Take the bolts, which already come pressed with flat and lock washers, and attach the faceplate onto the main columns. At this point, we're only finger tightening the screws. Repeat this process for all 4 corners. Now that we have both face plates assembled, we're going to go ahead and, with the help of someone else, turn the stand over in order to start the installation of the upper and lower shelves. Now we'll take our lower shelf and we'll introduce it to the bottom of the columns. Carefully line up the holes on the panel with those on the columns. Next, take your bolts so that you could attach the lower shelf onto the columns. Make sure to finger tighten them for now. Now we'll finish up with the top shelf. Take your top shelf and place it on the top part of the columns, making sure that the lip on the edge is facing up, and align the holes with those on the column. Now take the bolts included with the hardware and use them to attach your top shelf to the column. Now that your stand is assembled, take your toolkit and reach for your Allen set. You'll use this set to properly tighten all the bolts on the stand. We'll begin with a 4mm for the bolts on the top shelf. We'll continue with the 6mm for the bolts for the lower shelf. And we'll complete the process with the same 6mm hex wrench for the front bolts on the faceplates. The hardware left for your stand now is going to be used to attach the machine to the stand. It'll consist of 4 bolts, 4 washers, and 4 rubber grommets. Place the rubber grommets over the large holes at the ends of the columns. Lastly, one step we recommend as a safety precaution before bringing the machine over to the stand is to lower the leveling pegs on the stand so it doesn't roll away as you bring the machine on. Before removing the machine from the base and putting it on the stand, you'll need to remove the 2 straps that hold the machine down to the base. You could do this by using a screwdriver and removing the screw. Now take the remaining hardware, which consists of the 4 bolts and washers, and insert them into the bottom of the stand, going through the columns and screwing onto the bottom of the machine corners. Once you've inserted all 4 bolts, take your 10mm hex wrench and tighten them. You will repeat this step for all 4 corners. And that concludes the assembly of the stand for the GEM 1502 TC. We hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. See ya.